back to Studioloo. It's Cindy. So today I've been doing a little bit more work on the Giving Tree journal. I think I showed you in a past video how I've got the spine all stitched with a little apple blossom here and lots of fun leaves, and the book cover I used from the original book and just kind of collaged it on the front of this nice old book. So today I got the signatures all picked out and sorted and did some stitching and lace attachments. So over the last couple of days I've been dyeing this awesome paper. So look at this paper, isn't this great? It's so appley. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of paper dyeing lately, a lot of fun experimentation, and I'm probably going to start offering dyed papers in the shop at some point. Not sure when, but this one makes me pretty happy. It's apple paper for this Giving Tree book. So signatures are lots of book pages, and red and green and sort of fleshy, apple flesh kind of tone. Papers. I've done a bit of cutting and reorganizing of the story a little bit. I think I mentioned about the ending that I was going to be rewriting it to make it a more environmentally empathetic story. A little bit more on that later, but I've added these fun tabs and some fun collage trees. More of my dyed paper, some handmade paper. Yeah, so it's really going to be a fun journal, I think. So that's the first signature. And then, let's see. So I'll talk to you a little bit about the story. So if you don't know the story, Shel Silverstein wrote The Giving Tree. Essentially, it is the story of a little boy who grows up with an apple tree, and it provides for him from his childhood to his adult life. But throughout it, like his life, he sort of, after childhood, goes away from the tree and only ever comes back to it when he wants something, and his wants get progressively worse. Like first he wants to make money, so he takes the branches to sell wood to, or first it's the apples, then it's the branches, then he wants to build a boat to sail away, so he wants the trunk of the apple, then there's just nothing left, and it's this kind of sad story of like a tree just giving and giving and giving of itself until there's just nothing left. And so it's funny, I was talking to a friend of mine, and she was saying, I haven't researched any of this, but that Shel Silverstein had been interviewed about that story, and it was actually about motherhood. And that resonated with me so much as a mother. I was like, wow, totally get that. It's another whole like side of social commentary, but I totally get it. And I also get how his original story could be a really important one to teach a lesson to people in general, just by seeing like the end result of kind of our bad behavior. But in the light of wanting to keep this journal a little more positive and uplifting and future thinking, I rewrote the end. So I left in the bit where he comes back, you know, asking again for something, and the tree saying, yay, you know, you're back, come and climb up my branches. And he said, I am too busy to climb trees, said the boy. I want a house to keep me warm, he said. I want a wife and I want children, and so I need a house. Can you give me a house? I have no house, said the tree. The forest is my house. So this is where he's like, go ahead, take my branches, build a house. I changed it to say, but you may again collect my apples. This time keep the seeds and plant an orchard of trees. This will give you a way to build a home and also build a life for your family and create a family for me. Then we will both be happy. Thinking beyond ourselves. Imagine that. And so the boy collected the apples and carried them away to begin his study of apple farming. Although he could have taken the life out of the Giving Tree by taking her branches or cutting her down, he realized that if we all acted that way, that the world would be no more. He didn't want to live as his ancestors did, but instead wanted to build a sustainable earth for his children and grandchildren to come, and everyone was happy. So I know I know I'm terrible. I'm totally like being extra on this one, but I think it's just like, it feels better to me to feel like we can think differently as a society, and I guess I'm reflecting that on this poor little journal. Or maybe happy little journal, because it's happier now. So I'm a nerd, and if you've watched me for a little while, you know this. So I'm going to work on some ephemera today, I think. That's the plan anyways. I've got the spine created. This will have 3 signatures of about a little over about 10 pages each. Back, you know, the single pages. So double that. Yeah. Okay. So I have all this stuff, a bunch of pages from the book, some other Apple related things, and I think I just want to kind of start going through and making stuff, but I also will need to take a look at the signatures, because they will sort of fuel my what do I need to make, you know, conversation with myself as I go. So let me get this journal out of the way. This is another flea market style journal I'm working on. Just pop that out of the way. So many projects, but we're getting there. Today has been the weirdest day, I swear. So I got up this morning and hung out with the kids, had a normal morning. My husband came home to begin his day of, you know, taking care of the kids. And so around, I don't know, it was kind of a stressful morning with work, because there's just a lot of stuff going on, and I'm trying to navigate all of that. And so I'm dealing with all that stuff. And then all of a sudden around, I don't know, like 10:30, my husband came downstairs and said, "Hey, is our 4-year-old daughter with you?" And I said, "No, why?" So he couldn't find her. So long story short, she said she needed to use the potty, so away she went. That's normal. She goes to the potty by herself. And often she will then detour and come to my office in the basement and hang out with me for a bit and chat, as long as I'm not like busy or on a call or something, and then she'll go back upstairs. So like we're totally accustomed to that. And so for whatever reason, my children love to time their bio breaks at the same time, and so the baby needed a diaper change. So my husband had gone upstairs to give the baby a diaper change, and then, you know, he came back and like couldn't find her. So that's when he came down to me. So then I heard him, you know, go back upstairs. I figured he just, you know, she'd gone upstairs to the top floor of our house or something. So I hear him shouting for her. Like, I hear it kind of changing a bit, shouting instead of just calling. So I'm like, okay, he still hasn't found her. I'm going to go upstairs and try to sort this out. So I start looking for her, and 5 minutes go by. And 10 minutes go by, and at this point I am completely like losing my mind. Like, where's my child? I checked, the front door was locked, and I know that both locks she's unable to unlock them, so she hadn't gone out front into the street or anything. The back door, the dog is outside, it's unlocked, the dog is in the backyard, but our backyard gate has a lock that's like over 5 feet high, so she can't reach it to get out of there either. So it's not like she can escape. So then I'm like, okay, so I keep looking, and at this point, like any parent would be doing, I am running around my house, tearing it apart and shouting her name. I am starting to cry. I am totally emotional at this point because I can't find my child, and it's been 15 minutes almost, and I'm about to like literally call the police when my child, my husband, all of a sudden said to me, like, I found her. And so I come downstairs completely losing my mind, and she was hiding in a cardboard box in our dining room, underneath the dining room table. And this morning I literally was right next to her shouting for her, and she was sitting in there with her her leap pad, activity pad thing, just quietly playing that. And I don't know if it's like she was distracted or she was playing a game, but I was very disappointed and I still am very disappointed that she didn't answer me, and I was just like so dumbfounded. So yeah, children, they are They are a force to be reckoned with, let me tell you. So that's my life update for today. So we had a great big conversation about why that's a dangerous thing to do. And I do, to her benefit, feel like she took it in. I really do. I feel like she understands how upsetting it was for me and why it was upsetting, and that she won't do it again. I do think that she learned an awful lot this morning. Because, yeah, she was very upset to see that I was crying. I think she didn't quite understand what the big deal was until she, like, realize that. And that's the thing, like, we don't think about with kids, is that to them, like, something that's huge to us as adults is like not really that huge to them. To her, she's like, I was just sitting in a box, what's the problem? And it was funny not, you know, listening to you guys run around. Oh, my word. So I think this is going to be a journal card. And here I need to address this. So this is like from the story as it really happened. And I just want to write like a little thing here, like, oh, this Sharpie is dead. Okay, sad Sharpie. This will be okay. So let's just put here. Now I hear my family. They are back home from shipping packages. So I'm just going to put here what might have been. And I use the familiar 3 dots that go through the whole story. So I'm just going to kind of ink up both sides of this with the same style of appley kind of inking. Yeah, so I feel so like oddly, I don't know, weirded out by this morning. Excuse me. Pardon me. But that's all a part of growing up. Like, I told my colleague about what happened, and he told me a story. You know, this is the one thing I can say about having friends who have kids, is like they make you feel better in your moments where you're like, oh God, what just happened? Because you will have them as a parent. You will have those moments, and I think talking about them is a really positive thing to do. So my colleague told me he used to live like on a lake near a large, like it's kind of like cottage country because there's a large part of Lake Ontario there. And so his daughter did the same thing to him, except that like he lived on a lake, so it was a lot scarier. So same kind of thing, you know, he explained himself running, you know, out of his country house onto this country road after they looked the entire house upside down, and then he ran outside down the road. He ran, you know, up to the lake. He's looking in the water. He's at this point, like we defined it the same way, like you're like a wild animal, right? You're like yelling, you're emotional, you're, you know, all these things. And you know, but for him, I think honestly that's a lot scarier because, you know, she could be outside. So as it turned out, you know, she was hiding underneath their deck. So they had like a raised deck, and, you know, probably had some kind of lattice or something around the bottom, as is common. And she was hiding under the deck, and she probably thought it was so funny to watch everyone look for her. Like it's like real life hide and go seek, right? So he told me about that, and then and then I talked to my mother about it and told her what happened, because I needed a lot of moral support to get on with today, apparently. So my mother's like, oh, well, yeah, we had a similar situation with you. And I was like, me? Perfect, angelic me? And she said, yeah, but you did the same kind of thing at at our friend's house, you actually went into their laundry room and you climbed inside their clothing dryer and fell asleep. The door was wide open, but you fell asleep. And I was like, was no one watching me? Like, what? And so my mom's like, no, you used to sit in there and play with they had like some and I remember this, they had like a bunch of, this room in their house was like multi kind of functional. Like they had the laundry in there, but they also had all these like cages of different kinds of like ferrets and things, like really big giant cages, like the ones that some birds are in, where it's like a whole habitat, because they had ferrets and some other small animals. So like that was my common thing, is I used to go over there and sit in there all the time and, you know, like just play with the ferrets while my parents sat and played cards and chatted with their friends. And so essentially, you know, they went to go check on me and couldn't find me, and didn't even think that I'd be inside like the slightly ajar dryer. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, good thing that, you know, it wasn't one of those stories where a kid crawls into a dryer and it gets turned on, and you know. But my mom was like, no, I don't think that would have happened, because the door was like open all the time, because I think like the light from the dryer, they used to leave it on at night for the animals, like if someone had to go in that room. There was like a few other things in there too, like I think they had like a little ping pong table, like it was kind of a big room where it was multi-purpose sort of. And so I said, yeah, but at least in my case, I wasn't willfully like ignoring you. Yeah. But I'm not upset with her. I feel like it's what kids do, you know. It's you just gotta adjust to their mindset sometimes. I need my paper trimmer. Here it is. Too much stuff on my desk this week. I've been going through all sorts of stuff. So I'm gonna just move these signatures over here. And then what else? What else can I tell you? I don't know. Yeah, this needs to get evened out. That's better. One's already straight, that's good. And that one also is good. Okay. And then I've been doing a lot of mordanting of fabric. So if you're not familiar with fabric dyeing, or you know, plant dyeing, you have to mordant your fabric with like a solution of kind of chemicals. Well, not really, like sort of chemicals, actually. It is, you know, chemicals. And it basically prepares the surface of the cloth to be permanently printed with plants, essentially. It's the effects of like metals and lime that kind of prepare the cloth. So the funny thing is that the process, basically the cloth is dipped in this mordant solution, and then it turns to like a golden color. So I have all of this hanging on my front porch right now on my street, and I'm sure my neighbors are like, what is this nasty weird fabric that she is hanging on her front porch? I'm sure that they wonder sometimes about me, because I'm always doing something weird outside. But we have a lot of like influencers that live around me, and you often see them with their cameras outside in their yards, like shooting videos of themselves. So it's okay. I'm not the only weirdo in town. Just kind of going around these, because I don't have to do a whole lot to some of this stuff. I like it as just journal cards and pockets just from the book itself. So I'm just kind of inking around with some red and green to kind of give that nice apple feel. I'm really taking the apple theme throughout this journal. And I love these Aladdin Eyes Ink inks. I'm sad though, I don't think you can get them anymore. I think that these will be the last ones that I'll ever have, because I found them at a Desserts in my area, and they were on clearance, as you can see by these stickers. And I don't think that they're made anymore, which is unfortunate because they're amazing, and they're nice because you don't even have to use a dauber. They have this nice soft sponge, and these last a really long time. I'd compare them definitely to like the same life as the Ranger Distress ink. I feel like they've got the same kind of life. So this one, actually I didn't need to ink the back. I want to cover the back with something. Do I have? Yeah, I do right there. Just looking for some of my handmade paper here. Yeah, but they're really nice inks. Although things are getting a little dire in Canada for ink, so thankfully I have a local scrapbook store that I can get my ink from if I need it. But previously I used to buy it at Michael's, but Michael's has actually stopped carrying like the entire line of like everything like Tim Holtz and Ranger. Like I don't think they have anything Ranger, and the only stuff that I saw there from Tim Holtz the last time that I've been to, I went to a couple different Michael's at one point looking for ink, and all they had were like the 3 bottle pack of alcohol ink and like a couple of alcohol ink related things, and nothing with this ink. So it's too bad. Okay, let's back that with some handmade paper. Just because it's kind of like plant tree trunky feeling. And this one, I actually added this little face and this little leaf. I've done a little bit of, because the whole journal, or like the whole book rather, is all done in like single Sharpie line drawings, I've been able to have a little bit of creative freedom. So this one I just drew this little happy face on the trunk of the tree. So okay, I need to even this out. I know it's a little crooked. That's better. I tore these out, and every now and then my tear ruler might slip, and then I get a weird angle, so I always have to go back and fix it up. Fix it up and fix it up. I'm really excited to be working on this journal though. It's pretty fun. I'm going to just give the back a little green ink here. Nice thing about these journal cards is they're going to be double-sided, like with a little bit of images from the book. And then because this is the trunk, I'm going to add a little brown on the front. This one, I'm going to cover the back, and I'm also just going to even it out here because I can tell this one also got a little wonky. Then I will decide what I want to use as pockets first, and then that will give me an idea for what I need to make and how to make. And this one is the greedy man taking all the branches, but we're not including him in the story. He got the boot. Okay. Okay, so it's been very, very hot here lately, and it does not seem to be relenting at all. I've been watering the garden every morning because it's just parched. My garden has just gone out of control though. I've got lots of tomatoes coming, cucumbers are coming. I get I planted these, I planted several kinds of squash, but didn't actually have very good luck yet. I have lots of squash flowers happening, but the growth of the squash themselves, it's very behind. I think it's been a really inconsistent year of very hot snaps of weather, and then like a lot of rain in kind of pockets, and then like super hot snaps, and like it's just, I don't know, it's been a weird season and inconsistent, and squash don't really like inconsistency. They like you know, and also it's been getting cooler at night than normal, and squash don't really like cold nights a lot. Like they can tolerate it, but they're not as productive. So I'm hoping I get a little bit more productive, but I've got this one variety of squash that I think that they are giant pinkareni squashes, is what I believe I planted, but they're giant, but they're not pink. They look a little bit like a butternut squash, but they're not anything like a butternut squash. They're kind of like, actually they don't look like a butternut, they look like a spaghetti squash, but way bigger. Like they're like this big, they're huge. I'm not even all the way in camera, so they get really huge. So I know it's a giant squash, but they're delicious. Oh my goodness. So we've had 3 of those pop in the last couple of weeks, so I've been happy for those. They're really good. So those are doing well, and they're also, I think, supplying my neighbors with some squash, because the plant has just gone crazy. It has climbed my apple tree. First of all, it has climbed over into one of my raised beds. It's going crazy, this squash plant. Okay, I think that's all the cutting I need to do. And the tree was happy. I need to back that with some paper. It's too thin. Nice old book page. What else? So yeah, so the garden's going crazy. I've got grapes, they'll be ready soon. My apple tree is so overloaded, even though it has a squash climbing it and a cucumber climbing it. I've got to like harvest the apples pretty soon, but my goal today in the garden is to harvest all the herbs and get them drying. I've got a ton I need to do. I've got basil, thyme, mint, lemon balm, oregano, oops, yeah, just lots. I got lots and lots of herbs that I need to, I really need to, rosemary, I need to just get them under control. This is going to be a belly band. And I'm probably going to do, I don't know, something with it, something. I think I just want to take the "and" off. Yeah, I want to even this up a little more. It's a little bit wide too. It needs to be evened up. There's just something still wonky about it here. Let's just take off "and" straighten that edge. That's better. Then that edge looks straight, but these ends could stand to be trimmed, I think. That'll be a belly band, and I will do something else with it. Maybe like put some red behind it. What do I want to do? Maybe I'll just ink it and then see if there's a fussy cut that might be good. I don't know if I have any apple fussy cuts or anything that would be kind of a good fussy cut or sticker. Let's see. Mushrooms. Lots of labels and florals. A bird could be nice. birds hanging out in apple trees, or even like an apple blossom looking flower would be nice, which I probably have something of. I think these little, I've got these little bird stickers too. That might be good. Don't suppose I have an apple leaf in here. No. Pine cones, pumpkins. I like that better. Just looking through all this ephemera, I have so much stuff, but somehow still never enough. Oh, he's holding an apple, I think. Yes, he is. And that's more green. I like that better. Okay. Anything else specifically apple? We have some a fairy here with apples. No, I still like him more. Oh, here we go. Here's some fruits. These look like peaches. Pomegranates. I could pass for apples, but I don't think it's apples, and I know that, so now I'm just gonna be like, nope, nope, nope. Okay, let's go with those. Okay, get this out of my way. There we go. Okay, let's just put these on. Actually, before I do, I'm going to ink them, or at least this one. Just ink this white and green just for the fun of it all. Then this is going to get cut off a bit, but that's fine. Kind of gives it a more freeform look. My fingers are all gluey, and they're also kind of dyed and mordanted. I've been wearing gloves, but every now and then I do get a little something on my fingers. I try not to. Okay. There we go. Vellum sticker done. That will be a cute belly band, definitely. Okay, and then this one I just kind of did this little drawing of, you know, like new life regrowing from this stump just to this little branch, and then a single kind of holy apple there, just because it's cute. This side I don't think I want to keep, but I also need to, I think, straighten this up a little bit. It may also have fallen victim to my hackney ways of ripping things. That's better, much better. Yeah. Then I think I'll back that with, I actually have a bunch of leftovers of the beautiful red paper. Look at this paper. Didn't that just turn out amazing? I love it so much. I'm excited about it. And then I also have some green. So these have been my experiments this week. Like, aren't they fun? So where am I? Right here. Let's back this with some of the red, appley red paper. Okay. Yeah, let it go. Sounds like my kiddos are playing with blocks upstairs today. You can hear them thumping around. I'm not sure what to do tonight. It's just been so hot. I'm like not loving being outside in this heat, even though I do try to embrace all seasons and all temperatures. I just don't want to be out in the heat. I'm starting to become a fair weather outdoor person, but you can't really do that in Canada. Right? Spend all your time indoors because most of our seasons are winter. Okay, and then I'm going to round the corners on this one. Oops. Glue is still a little bit wet, and sometimes the corner rounder does not like cooperating. There we go. Let's flatten it out a little bit. And this one I think I kind of want to scrunch it up. Where is my gunkifier? Let's just erase this gunk. This is just glue stick gunk. These erasers are great. I got this at the Dollar Tree, and it will erase when you have glue stick glue on anything. And like if your ink hits glue, it leaves a darker mark, so it's nice that you can erase it away. And it's coming from my fingers, which are all gluey. There we go. I also need to wash these scissors because they're starting to get a little gunky. Studio cleanup day. Although my studio is pretty clean. It's just these little things that happen. Okay, so I think maybe a bit of green around the edge just to sort of tie it together. Okay. And the tree was happy, and I think that's going to be a tag, so I'm going to back it with I'm going to go red paper again, actually, on this one. Oh, it's so pretty. Okay. wonder if there's something from this that I could fussy cut. The story of trees. Maybe this some of these. Hold on a second. Okay. Also, these are nice too. Tough decision. Tree trunk with the rings. I do like the colors of it. Let's just do that. So, I think what I want to do is just cut here, like so. Then, just kind of follow the natural way of the rings here. That like that, and then I'll offcut the rest. How much more would I be able to fit there if I wanted to? No, I can't get the... No. Okay. So, this I will use for words. Scraps. So maybe a bit of that, but then also I'm gonna look and see what I have in flowers. Because I have a whole bag of fussy cut flowers I've been working on this week. Here they are. Something that looks like an apple blossom, like a white or a light pink. These are nice. Let's see. Look at that. Still think I like that there better. And then this maybe down here. Yeah, okay. Oops. Okay, there we go. And the flower. Okay. And then we just need some kind of fabric to put on top. This one. This is the one. Okay. All right, now this, I think I'm just going to leave it as a large piece, and just completely leave it as is, but time went by. That's very cute there. I might put some kind of fussy cut up top. Not a flower. Actually, maybe grab this. Whoops. My desk is a disaster. Thinking just like a cute sticker of some kind, like something like this would be very cute up here to just maybe not. Tough decisions. Apples. There's a man with some apples. That's perfect. Okay, then I'm going to, I think I will ink this with green. Yeah, green. Okay. And then this little sort of side tuck spot, I think that's what I'll use it for. We'll see. If I am going to use it as a tuck, I'll back it later, but then if it ends up becoming like a little tag, I'll just keep it like that. And the tree was happy. Let's back this one with green. Now what I'm thinking, if I can do this nicely, we'll see, is cutting an apple and leaves out of this paper that I've dyed. So let's see if I can do this. So we'll just cut a shape like this and a little dip in, and we come back on down. Sort of like that. Then maybe a little bit of this handmade paper. as a stem. Yeah, that's cute. This is very different than the type of collage that I typically get to do, but it's pretty fun. Okay. I think this would be a good tag. So I'm gonna back it with, I think, old book page. That's a little bit tall. I think I'm gonna just cut a little bit off the top so it's not super tall. Yeah, that'll work. Here we go. Oops. Another option is, if it's not too hot tonight, I might take my kiddos to the park and my daughter can practice bike riding and my son can run around like the precocious 1-year-old that he is, and I will spin some yarn. I've just been bringing my little electric wheel out to the park and it's kind of nice. I struggle right now to be able to use my regular spinning wheels because, especially around my son, I went through the same thing with my daughters. Like, they just want to stick their hands in everything, and unfortunately spinning wheels have moving parts, and so it can be a little bit too dangerous. So we'll just take care of him and not let him get his fingers jammed in a spinning wheel. So that's the nice thing about having a little e-wheel, is that you can put them on a tabletop where a kiddo can't reach. They do like to keep me on my toes, so okay. All right, this needs a hole and some right there. Okay, now we need some fabric. I think I will go with a dark green on this one. There we go. Little threads. All right, one last piece of the book page, I think, and we just have a couple more minutes left before I should call this a video, because we are approaching an hour here. So this one, I think I will back with the red paper again. This one I might actually just make a tuck with. So just fold that over, and then we'll have like a little spot that I can glue on and make like a little tuck spot. And then, do we have some nice words that we could put on here? Running about the woods. So many things about other things, but not about what I need. I might have to come back to this. Yeah, I think I will come back to it. I'll find something to put on here. But I do have all sorts of these other little apple kind of things. But we'll see. We'll see where I'm going to go with all this. So I think we are at a video. So thank you so much for hanging out with me while I work on the Giving Tree journal. It's not going to take me too much longer to get it done. I only have a few more pieces of ephemera, and then it's time to start adding things into the book. So I will probably have a flip through pretty soon. So I hope you have a great day. If you're not already subscribed, I would love it if you did subscribe and hang out with me. And all my social media information is down below in the description box. And otherwise, I will talk to you in the next video. Have a great day.